What's up, everybody? Phins Fanatic here, coming with another video. It's been a couple days, almost a week since I posted a video. I just figured I'd drop something to talk about a little bit about what's going on right now. As we know, we've got a little bit of headache going on in the free agency and in the cap area. The last video I talked a little bit more about Christian Wilkins than anything else, but truthfully, there's a lot more to touch on than just that. I mean, we've got 20 some odd free agents that we've got to think about what we're going to do with, and it's just going to be interesting, honestly. I'm curious to what you guys think. Let me know what do you think that we should do? What do you think some of our options are? I mean, should we sign Tua, or should we make him play out his next year and then see what happens? Do we restructure Tyreek's deal to save us from the cap hit this year and maybe take it a different year? Do we move up in the draft? I mean, realistically, we need linemen and we need a couple players on defense. I feel like we need a tight end too, which I touched on the last video about Brock Bowers. But with Jalen Phillips down and Bradley Chubb down, and then the question mark at Van Ginkel and the question mark at Wilkins, it kind of leaves us in a little bit of a pinch. So I'm curious to see what we're going to do and what you guys think that some of our options are. I've got so many theories in my head. I've got so many ideas, but a lot of it is out of my control, especially when it comes to the money. So I try to not too much to speculate on things like that, because I can say this and do that all the time. But as far as some of the players, I just feel like we need to do our due diligence on trying to keep Christian Wilkins and Van Ginkel, and then work on in the draft of maybe gaining some draft picks or solidifying our offensive line, and maybe taking something on the defense, maybe in the linebacker area. It's going to be interesting to see Cam Smith this year finally get a chance to play. We'll see with the new hiring of Anthony Weaver, who, by his press conference that I watched via Miami Dolphins, I personally thought that it sounded all good. One thing he said that really stuck to me was that he feels like that you're supposed to coach players hard and love them up. And I feel like with that, I think that'll translate really well. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I mean, every year I'm excited, right? Because we're Miami Dolphins fans. I mean, we're kind of at this point in the past 20 some odd years are used to not much. But these past couple of years have been a few years of just been able to enjoy to a degree, or be excited, let's just say, for the season to come. So like I said, I'm very excited. Very curious, very eager. I can't wait for the draft to get here, to be honest, because like I said, there's always theories. I speculate all the time when I'm just in the shower or when I'm at work, and I'm like, damn, what are we going to do in the draft? What are the Dolphins going to do? I mean, there's so many things that we could do. I mean, we have these players that are on free agency, and do we need them? Can we utilize them to possibly move up in the draft, or, something along those lines? And I look at some of the players that seem like studs to me, and I'm just like, fancy hardware. But at the end of the day, I mean, we've got some real issues that no matter how much, we can try to speculate or whatever, they have to be taken care of. Because if they're not, we're going to be probably at least one step, if not two steps behind. And in my opinion, I just feel like that's one of those things where, say what you want, but it's there. There's nothing you can say to put it under the bed or tuck it in the closet. I mean, these are real things that we're going to have to deal with. And I'm interested to see what we're going to do. I mean, it just sucks that we had to lose those two guys. I mean, at the end of the day, they were playing a hell of a year. Jalen Phillips, he's always struggled with injury and things of that nature. I think in college he had to retire for a little stint due to injury. So it just sucks to see him having such a good year and being productive. And I mean, as much as everybody hates Fangio and all that good noise, I mean, he was doing well via the numbers, and same with Chubb. So it just took Chubb, in my opinion, a little bit more time to get used to playing alongside his unit and obviously the scheme. And then he started to pick up in the numbers, and he was having a great season. So, I try not to talk too much on injury. I really don't, because I mean, it's a part of the game. It's what's expected. But my main thing is what are we going to do with Tua? That weighs heavy on my mind. I mean, the first quarterback that we've had in a long time since Dan Marino that I can feel semi-comfortable in the idea of being my quarterback. But there's a lot of speculation from a lot of you guys out there that, he's not worth crap, etc. And in my opinion, that's all fine and dandy. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. This is just my outlook. He's broken Dan's records regardless of what everybody wants to say. And as it sits right now, we're in a good position that if we didn't take those injuries last year, we would be building on to better things. And in my opinion, outside of the injuries, we can still do those things. It's just a matter of what are we going to do to fill those injuries. But other than that, the contract is the point of interest, because I'm curious to see what we do. How much is it going to be? I mean, to a degree, I feel like he's well deserved of a contract, outside of, the people that are wanting to see home runs and slam dunks and alley-oops and, 20 million touchdowns. You know what I mean? You have to be realistic with yourselves. You know what I mean? When's the last time the Dolphins have been in this position? And at, everybody else's mindset is, oh, he's nothing. Well, he deserves money, and he's the best quarterback that we've had in a long time. And he needs to get paid, but is it this year? Maybe, maybe not. If he gets paid and it helps us financially this year, going into this year coming up, then maybe we should do that, because then maybe we can work some ducks out, work the kinks out, and allocate money in other places that if we don't sign him until next year, we're not able to do so. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. I'm not a cap specialist, but this is the mind of a Dolphins fan. I know we're all there. I know we all think the same way. We want to see a Super Bowl. We want to see a playoff win. We want to see, all that good stuff. And I don't think that we're far away from it, but there's a lot of stuff going on that could change the future of our Dolphins team as we know it. And like I said, guys, I mean, hey, I'm curious. Feedback. It's a brand new channel of mine. I'm just trying to get it out there. I found it easy to just talk about what I love and what I'm passionate about. And one thing that I'm extremely passionate about is the Miami Dolphins, which I'm sure some of you guys are too. So when you tune in, comment, like, subscribe, view, anything, share, all that good stuff. I mean, it helps. It really does. And I appreciate you guys. I really do. I really do this for us, the Dolphins fans. I was at a Filipino ube dessert festival, and I had my Dolphins jersey on, and I was just hanging out with the family and whatnot, and I walked past this food truck, and this father is with his daughter, and she's like, hey man, my daughter is a Dolphins fan, man. She wanted to say hello. And I was like, she has a YouTube channel. And I was like, so I took time out of my day. I was like, hey, how you doing? I'm a big Dolphins fan. I heard you got a YouTube channel. I've got a YouTube channel too. Guess what it's about? And she's like, what? I'm like, the Miami Dolphins. She was like, oh my gosh. I was like, guess what? I'll subscribe to your channel. I'll show you mine. If you subscribe to it, that's on you. If not, hey, guess what? I'm around. And sure enough, she was so excited. She didn't even let me get hers first. She wanted to find out what my channel was and then subscribe to me right off the back. So, anything helps. I represent the Miami Dolphins any way, shape, or form, any way that I can. I try to be informative. I try to, stay on top of things. And moving forward, I'm going to try to be more, adamant about putting more content out for you guys. I've got a family, kids, all that good stuff. So sometimes I get busy, but like I said, everything helps. I appreciate you guys. And with another video, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff, share, show your friend, wherever you're at. I hope you guys are liking this content. I hope you guys are enjoying. Till next time, fins up.